12
So
minutes.
check this out.
Cold
This is
tires
probably
all
the
round.
worst start I've ever had to a race. I get pole position, which is awesome, right?
Okay,
And then
start.
I
Right, Chris, are you
jumped
ready?
to start.
Watch for the
I
lights.
literally hit the pedal by
Go, go,
accident.
go.
Didn't mean to do that.
White flag. You'll need to come into
Because
the
I'm so
center of
pissed
the
off, I'm
team.
frustrated, I blew the start. I spin out at the first turn. So check this out. Okay, so I'll save you the drama. I'll fast forward to the end. I did catch up. I passed a ton of people. I ended up getting 4th, which is a miracle considering, you know, from blowing the start, I had a black flag, I had a drive-through penalty, and had to catch up. But again, pretty good turnout, all things considered, right?
P4. Okay,
And
we're done.
now on to my second race.
Pole position. The track temp is 87 Fahrenheit.
All right, so here we are, race
76.
2. As you heard, I got pole again, which is awesome, fantastic start. And I thought this was a good opportunity to just kind of showcase why it's important, why it's so important to qualify well, to kind of get ahead of the troublemakers. You know, anyone that's been iRacing for a while knows that every race, without fail, there's going to be guys that cause trouble. They're going to cause wrecks, and they wreak havoc on the field for everybody else. And for whatever reason, if I don't qualify high enough, I seem to always get stuck in the middle of it. This was a very good start. I was trying to pull away from the crowd here, just to create some separation. They did a pretty good job of keeping up the first couple laps, but as you're about to see,
Well done, Chris.
I think it's
Good
lap
start.
2. I can't remember which driver it is, but he just comes out of the turn way too hot, goes sideways, and again, this causes a massive pileup that involves, like, you know, 5 or 6 different cars. This corner is so important to get a good run down this straight. It's amazing how many people, this one little section of the track, they lose so much time. I think it's because it's a small straight and they don't realize that you could gain a good half second if you take it well into these hairpins. So here it is. So watch behind me. So here it is. He just comes around the corner way too hot, loses control. The rest of the field tries to adapt, and here you go. For those of you watching that are new to iRacing and don't know the rules and how the safety rating system works and the iRating works, you are penalized if you touch any car, whether it's your fault or not. So if you're driving the way I am right now, and someone were to slam into the back of me, I'm penalized with 4x, up to a 4x per accident. And there's no way around this.
That's 10 minutes left.
When people hear that, and they think it's really unfair, and at times I too agree that it does seem very harsh. There's so many times that I'm hit, no fault of my own, and you're penalized. And in a short race like this, if you get a 4x, you're going to have a negative impact. Your safety rating's absolutely going to get down. And that's just from getting hit once. You're also dinged if you go off track. So off tracks are a 1x. If you lose control of your car on the track, that's a 2x. All of this stuff adds up. iRacing's stance on this is they're trying to encourage safe driving, which, again, I think they're probably 70% right. 70% of the time, if you follow their guidelines and try to drive safe, it does work. The system does work probably 70% of the time. That other 30% of the time is what everyone complains about, because it's virtually impossible to drive safe with some of these morons that are on the track with you. They simply don't know what they're doing. They don't practice. They just join races thinking that they can hang with everybody else. And, you know, because they're slower on the track, it's like when you're going down the highway and that guy's in the left lane driving 60 miles an hour and you're like, what the hell? They're actually making it more restrictive for everybody else. They're causing more disruption by driving slow than they are if they were just going the speed limit, right? That's exactly what happens here. You know, people that don't practice, that are slower, that they're not in the same line, they're really making a problem for everybody else. So for the rest of this race, there really wasn't any drama till the end. I'll put some music on and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the race, because these are short races. One of the reasons I love this series, and if you haven't tried this car, this is the M2 BMW. It is an absolute blast to drive. It's rear-wheel drive, and you can slide the hell around corners, and if you know what you're doing, you know how to control these rear-wheel drive cars, they are an absolute blast to drive. With that said, if you don't know what you're doing, you are going to be that dude that ruins the race for everybody else. They are difficult to control. They do slide a lot. They do have a lot of power for a small little light car, so just be aware before you jump into one of these and think that you're just going to have the same type of result. It does take some practice. Alright, so I'll put on some tunes and until we get to the drama. I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the last lap, or right before the second to last lap.
Racing is sitting on the 10. I think he'll come out just behind you.
here's the part I was talking about, guys. This guy in front of me just loses control of the car, and literally almost takes me out. The race is almost over.
There's an incident in the hairpin.
Right,
looks like it's...
And I'll slow it down so you guys can see how close this really was. Scared the crap out of me, considering I was, I think at this point, where am I at here? I'm 8 seconds ahead. And you can see how much time I lose from this. I mean, I just barely missed him, right? Okay, so that's a good example of what I was talking about, of what happens in these races. I was fortunate that I was able to avoid hitting any contact, but if I did, it would have been a 4X. Again, and you can see on my display, I lost 2 seconds. 2 seconds to the guy that I was 8-point-something seconds ahead of because of that incident. We'll get back to the tunes. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the race. I am trying to rebrand this channel around sim racing, so please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Chris, one more lap and keep it together. We'll win this. That was 145.1. Perfect drive, absolutely flawless. That's the end of the session.